Congratulations, Dad.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Phil.
Congratulations, guys. You earned it. You earned it.
This retirement video was brought to you by the good people at the Scooter Store. And don't forget, new retirees receive one free in-home consultation. Just call 1-800-OLD-AS-DIRT. 1-800-OLD-AS-DIRT. The Scooter Store for all your mobility needs. And Cymbalta. When your aches and pains have aches and pains of their own, maybe it's time for Cymbalta. If you have one of those newfangled computer gadgets, go to www.help.imgettingold.com. Once again, www.helpimgettingold.com. New retirees receive one free sample.
Hey Bill, this here's Georgette. This has been a long time coming and I'm so glad for you. You're finally moving on. I'm just trying to imagine you with a fishing pole in your hands or maybe a golf club out on the greens. But above all else, you gotta remember this one thing. Just 'cause a kitten's born in the oven don't make it a biscuit. And just because you put a green clarinet in a young boy's hand, it don't make him a musician. Honestly, Phil, it's been my honor and privilege to work with you these last 17 years. I have learned immensely from you. You have taught me so much. You taught me to line the kids up outside the building for band. You taught me to quit mothering and coddling my kids. You have taught me to wait, let the kids figure it out. You've held your standards high, and you've taught me to take the high road and stay true. You're the best of the best. I want you to know I'll be carrying on your tradition. Ride 'em hard and put 'em away wet. God bless you, my friend. I'll see you in the hood, down here and up there. Bye.
Hey Phil, thanks for everything you've done for me in these past couple years. We're really gonna miss you. Take care and enjoy it.
Well, I've sort of been not involved, but I've been a party to my dad's job for several years. I could remember an English teacher I had in 7th grade who my dad worked with in Exeter, who this story goes, I guess he wore pink underwear. And I also remember a time later on in high school, I got a cupcake smashed in my face by one of his students from Green Acres. So that was cool. But congratulations on a long time of teaching and making kids learn.
Hey Phil, I just wanted to say congratulations, and I've really enjoyed the past 2 years getting to know you, and I appreciate so much how much time and energy you've spent just helping me, making me feel really welcome, and I'm going to miss that a lot. So thank you very much and good luck.
Phil, you've always told me you'll always want to teach forever. What happened? I thought you were more intelligent than that. It's been 10 years since I left, and it's taking you that long to figure out retirement will be better. Memories. I just remember the times that you had such a well-disciplined band. Combined bands were you made so much easier for us with Ed, you, and I. In fact, our kids behind our backs always called us the Three Musketeers. Dinner competitions when we brought home the prize from the CMEA festivals, and you and Ed usually beat me out. That's not quite true, but you know, I like to believe that. And our wives were great for hosting dinners for us. Don't forget our Disneyland trip, where your student had asthma attack. Ed's students were caught shoplifting, and there's my student, held us up for 2 hours. We couldn't even leave until we found him. And of course it would have been my band member. I really enjoyed working with you, and it made my day so much easier. You take care, and I hope to see you on the golf course.
So Phil, I have to say that I'm going to miss your sense of humor and your view on life, and standing out in front waiting for the students to come to class and looking at the birds flying by. I wish you the very best. Whatever you guys do, you and Jan, you're very good people. So congratulations again.
Hi, Phil. Thanks for teaching me everything you know. Never mind.
Well, I've known Phil a long time. I don't know how long it is, and I know that Visalia is going to be missing a very, very talented man as far as education and music, and I just am so thrilled that you get to now call it a career and take off and travel, because I know you love to do that, and maybe find us a few more wineries that we can visit. And when Georgana first approached me, Phil, she asked me if I had a memory, and one came to my mind first thing, and I'm surprised I can remember anything. But Phil, do you remember when the three bands, Divisadero, Green Acres, and Valley Oak, would take their bands to Disneyland for a trip? Do you remember the time that some of your little students had some extra friends tag along and hid under the seats? And I was the chaperone on that bus. I'm still ticked off about that. I don't know who they are, but if there's any justice, if there's a God, one of these days those kids are going to get their comeuppance. And it was one time that I just thought I was going to explode. It's still not funny. And you laughed at me, and I was ticked off. But Phil, there was one time also when I was having some really bad problems in my life, and you were the first person I saw, and you put your arm around me, and you're great, Phil. I just am thrilled for you and Jan, and I require postcards from every place you visit, and good luck to you.
This is really hard for me to do without crying. Maybe we should start this over again. I feel like Greg and Phil, you guys have been my right hand and my left while I've been in this job. And anything I've done, for good or ill, is because I've had the support of those of you who've been here for forever. I can trust you, I can go to you when I have a question, and I know that your answers will be spot on. I just can't thank you enough for all you've done for Visalia kids and for me. And congratulations, and dang it all, I wish we'd all gone out together. Thanks. Bye.
Okay, Mr. Barker, how do I begin with that? Ed actually knew Greg before he knew Phil, and Phil and Ed and Leroy taught together as middle school band instructors. And the one thing that stays in my mind, and I'm sure Ed and Phil and Leroy would agree, was CMEA music festivals. And I'm not sure everybody knows this, but there was a lot of competition, not so much among the students, it was competition among the band directors. And it was fun, and to wait and see who was going to come out with a superior, a good, or an excellent. And the guys kept doing this, and they kept saying that Ed kept getting superiors. Well, one year he didn't get a superior. And so anyway, it's like, oh, okay. So I don't know whose idea it was, but they said the one that gets superior is going to have to provide a meal for the rest of us, and it had to be a steak dinner. And we kept doing it, you know, so it's like, come on, you guys, we don't mind doing it, it's fun. But the highlight of the whole thing was one year, Ed got a superior, and I think Leroy and Phil didn't. And they came to our home, and Phil and Jan were in on this, and we really pulled a good one on Leroy. We took his certificate and had placemats made to put on the table. And when you sat down, and I had name tags, and it was Superior Ed and Superior Barbara, and if I don't remember what Phil got, and they got excellent, and then it was excellent Phil, excellent Jan, excellent Leroy, and excellent Lynn, or whatever it was. And when he came in and saw that, I mean, we have never been able to let it down. I still have those placemats, by the way. I should have got one out. And the highlight of it was Phil took that placemat or that certificate and took it down, and we had a cake made with that. So that was the top thing. That was dessert, was the cake with the certificate on it. So that was really a lot of fun. But Phil has been here as, you know, they're like a part of our family. We have, you know, he's done landscaping for us. We've gone on jazz band trips with them when Ed and he were in the jazz band at COS. They've gotten to know our kids. We know their kids, our grandkids, you know, just think they're really special people, and they're just really great. So we wish him a happy retirement and lots of golfing and travel.
I just remember of all the years you were teaching, and I would be in band or something, all the kids would say, "Oh, you're Mr. Barker's daughter." And I thought, well, yes, I'm Mr. Barker's daughter, and now that you're retired, I think they'll start saying, "Oh, you're Miss Barker's dad, aren't you?" And I remember I've gone to school for 5 years to do this teaching, and you know that I had to do so many papers and so many reading of books, and you know, I've learned just so much from watching you and listening to you and learning from you and what you do.
Phil, you're a great guy. We've known you for quite a while. You moved in across the street from us. You are a great teacher, and I've heard all kinds of great things about the way you teach, but I know you more as a friend. And I really appreciate the way you always would help us and always be there for us. And you and Jan are very dear friends of ours, and I wish you the best.
Hey Phil, started playing trombone because you came to my school and back in the day, and to hang out with Mr. LaGruda. So got me started on a good musical career, so I appreciate it. Have a great retirement and catch a lot of fish.
One of my favorite memories is when we were both at Highland and you were working with the band, and somehow it worked out that not only could I watch you teach 5th grade, I also got to work with you in 6th grade, and that was really, really helpful and meaningful to me. In fact, I believe you actually had it as a prep, and you just decided to stay and help me all that year, and that was one of the best learning experiences in band that I've ever had. But that year, you had a great Royal Oaks group, and you decided that you were going to take them to the CMEA festival, and I didn't even know that was even possible. And then you said, you know, but we need some drummers, and we had some good drummers at Highland that year, and so you put it together, and I said, you know, I got a great group over at Willow Glen, and so because of you, I was able to be a part of pulling these schools together and watching these kids do really well, and then their experience there was just phenomenal, and they played well and got, you know, great scores and all that, but it was just so neat to watch you pull the whole thing together, organize people and organize lunch for these kids and rehearsals at multiple schools and busing, and that was just a huge, huge deal, and I would never even know that that was even possible, much less be able to pull it off like you did. So that was an amazing learning experience right there. You know, to say that I learned from you is just a huge understatement. Yes, I learned to be a better teacher, and yes, I learned to be a better music teacher, and yes, I learned to be a better band teacher. Having you around and, you know, a phone number away to be able to call and say, how do you handle this, or what do you do with this? And I learned tremendously from that, but I think more importantly, I learned how to be a better person, a better community member. I remember one thing in particular. there was some kid would be in a pain in the butt, and there was something about, there was a way that they were going to get moved to another classroom. And I remember you saying, well, no, I don't want us to give that to somebody else. You know, I don't want to give that problem, my problem, to someone else. And I just remember thinking, I've never heard a teacher say that before. I just was really floored by that. Your care for the whole community, for everybody, rather than just yourself or just your school or just your group that you're with, was inspiring. I am thrilled that you are getting to retire. You deserve it. Of all people, you deserve it, and I hope you get to have a lot of fun. And I'm okay with that as long as you stay close by where we can you know, get together and play golf or do something as well. So look forward to spending as much or more time with you now that you're retired. And again, thanks for just being a friend. You're a great person.
Phil, my strongest memories of you are when you were a high school kid, obviously, because that's when we spent the most time together, every day in Mount Whitney. And I remember you as being one of those kids that was a stabilizing influence to all the other kids around him. Always ready to get the job done, and serious about wanting to do it right, and always willing to put in the time that was necessary to get your part right, to make it happen. And after you graduated, and I've forgotten just when you told me, but when you told me you were going to training to be a music teacher, why, that fact is, that's what made my day that day, because it's always a reward for every teacher when their kids do well, and so here was my kid carrying on the same kind of stuff. And so I appreciated that all the time. When you came back as a teacher in Visalia, I can't remember hiring you, but my memory is kind of vague, but it's like I think I hired you on as part of our traveling elementary music team, and or maybe the junior high hired you on, and I was part of that, but I never got a chance to work with you, because I think you came the year that I moved over from the music coordination to the PDC and working over there. So my whole role changed and at the same time. But I'm sure glad that you have done what you've done, and I've heard good things about you all these years, about your teaching, and you don't hear good things unless good things are happening. So I'm proud of you, son.
I hope after you've seen all of this and experienced this evening, you won't be too mad at me for forcing you to come to this retirement party. Forcing. I want to share one of the very interesting things that happened to Phil early in his career. Most people know nothing about. Actually, two things very related. His first year, he was 26 years old over in Exeter High School, and one day he was doing his teacher duties, hustling across campus for something he had to do, go to the office or something, and an administrator stopped him and asked for his hall pass. Said to him, like, where's your hall pass? And Phil kept trying to say, I'm a teacher. I don't need a hall pass. And I don't know how that was resolved, but that was just the tip of the iceberg, because that same year, I know it was that same year to be sure, because we went to Magic Mountain, and I remember I was expecting Casey, our firstborn, and it was in the fall, and we were getting all the kids together to go into Magic Mountain, and the guy in charge is like, well, where's your director? Where's your director? And this mass of kids, and he's kind of jumping up going, you know, I'm here, and they're like, no, you know, where is your director? And so anyhow, didn't believe he was the director. I don't know how he convinced them. He didn't look any older than the kids who were there, which is kind of understandable now. It makes me think of something that one of those students in that band has already retired, and Phil has gone to his retirement party. So he's had a student retire before he could retire, and so therefore he deserves to retire. Those are the funniest things I can think of, and I can think of sharing career with him some of that time of teaching, but A lot of the time I was home with the kids, and then I entered, and I'm really grateful and thankful he's decided to let me retire with him, so I can share in all of his activities, be in that boat every time he's fishing, and right there beside him in the cabin, and just, you know, doing my usual talk. You know, he's going to be so generous to do this for me. So I hope we have a long, long life of a lot of fun together. And apart doing our own things, but I think it's going to be a neat new adventure in our life together and our marriage. So. And I want God to bless you and to bless us always, Phil, and I love you.